Let me invite people on the live. I'm trying to share it. Hey y'all, give me 1 minute. Let me try to share this to my girl talk group. I'm gonna turn my volume up. Hey Auntie Val, hey Shay. Hey y'all stay on, y'all come on in, y'all share this video. Share. I feel like my story can help everybody, so please share this video. I'm going very personal tonight, very personal tonight. So I want y'all to share, and we're gonna give people time to come on. I like to start about 8:05. We got another minute. I came on a little late tonight. Y'all, I tried to curl my hair, but I'm not good with curling my hair, so I had to put it in a ponytail, as y'all can see. Hopefully I can get somebody to curl it for me tomorrow, because I'm not good with curling hair. But we're gonna get started in a little bit. Y'all, I started a girl talk group probably about 3 months ago. The group is, for women to come. We talk about different problems. We talk about relationship, God, motivation, encouragement. We talk about a lot of stuff. It's like a safe haven for women. We don't judge in the group, because if you're going through something, I can guarantee you the next person has went through it, or they're gonna go through it. So I'm gonna go public tonight. This is not on my private page, because I'm gonna tell my personal story. I'm gonna tell y'all how I got burned. Last year made a year that I got burnt, and so many people inboxed me. They were like, were you cooking when you got burnt? What happened? How many surgeries did you have to have? And so, I go live about a lot of stuff. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to go live and tell my testimony about burns, and about, what God has brought me through in my life. So we're going to go ahead and get started. It's 8:05. I'm, trying to give everybody time to come in. So y'all, last year, the day before Thanksgiving, it started off as a normal day. I was actually at my cousin's house. We took a nap. We got up. We ate red velvet cupcakes, and we were just talking. And she was like, Erica, I gotta go to work tonight. And I was trying to get her to call out. I was like, girl, don't go to work tonight. Just call out. My parents were about to get ready to head to Tampa, to my sister's house for Thanksgiving. I wasn't going that year. I don't know. I can't remember why I wasn't going to Tampa, but my parents were. So long story short, I left my cousin's house, got up from a nap, went to my cousin's house. My dad called me. He was like, come on home so, we can bathe the dog. So at that time, I lived down the road from my parents, probably about maybe 2 minutes. So I ran to my house, picked up something. So I got to my parents' house. So my dad said, okay, Erica, I'm going to run to the store and we'll bathe the dog when I get back. So I went in my parents' bathroom and I turned the hot water on, because it was like a rainy, semi-cold day that day. So I said, okay, I'm going to go ahead and turn the hot water on. Y'all, I left the water on for maybe 45 minutes to an hour. I can't really, remember the time. I went in the living room. I started watching a movie on BET, just watching TV, not thinking, okay, the water's going to get cold. So long story short, my daddy came back to his house. He walked in. He said, Erica, are you ready to bathe the dog? I said, dang, Dad, okay. I let the water get cold, because, when you run hot water for a while, it gets cold. So I said, well, let me just boil this water on top of the stove for a little bit, and we can just mix it with the cold water, because it's very cold outside. It's rainy. You can't bathe a dog in cold water. My dog name is Sadie, y'all. She was a puppy at the time. I think maybe she was like 4 or 5 months at the time. And my mom, she's very particular about dogs being in the house. So, she was like, Erica, if that dog is going to go to Tampa with us, because my niece and my nephew, they were like, TT, can you let the dog come with my Rita and Daddy Bo? And I was like, okay. So I was like, we have to bathe the dog. So, y'all, I let the water get hot on the stove, probably maybe about 10-15 minutes. It was a big pot, probably about that big. And it was boiling hot. So I picked up the pot. I looked down. I said, oh my God, this water is very hot. I said, it would just be, devastating if I dropped this water. I felt the steam on my face, y'all. I looked down. So I picked, I got the water. I walked outside. I started walking down my parents' steps. If you ever been to my mom's house, you know she has a back porch, then she has a deck. So I started walking down the steps. It was a truck riding by, and I looked over, and they said something, but I don't remember who was in the truck or what happened. My dad was outside fooling with the dog, so he was in front of me, and so y'all, I went down the steps, toting the water. I felt the steam from the water on my face. I got this tissue, y'all, because I don't know if I'm gonna cry. This is very emotional to me. But this is my first time really going live and, telling the story outside of my close family and my friends. So I got to the bottom step, y'all, all the way to the bottom step. And that's when I fell. I would have thought maybe I would have fell going down the steps, but when I got to the bottom step, that's when I fell, y'all. And the water, it fell all the way back on me, and the pot fell in my lap. It took me about maybe 5 seconds, to kind of, snap into what happened. And once I got up, I ran straight to my dad. And I was like, Daddy, this water has burnt me. And so I had a long sleeve shirt on at the time. And so he took my shirt off outside. And I was like, okay, I'm okay. I felt fine, y'all. I felt the hot water and I felt the burns. But I was like, I'm okay. Maybe if I could just go get under some cold water. You know how when you burn your finger when you're cooking, or you just burn your finger, you feel, okay, let me just do the hot water and put some ice on it. I'll be fine. That's what I thought. So me and my dad run in the house. By this time, I'm like, well, Dad, just let me get in the shower. Y'all, my dad had freaked out. I have never seen my dad freak out like that. Like, he was hysterical. Like, he was just like, oh, my God, this water has burnt my baby. Oh, my God, what are we going to do? So we go in the bathroom. By this time, I'm trying to get my pants off to get in the shower. So my dad is calling my aunt. He's calling my mom. My mom was like, well, Bo, you need to get her to the hospital. Me, I'm like, I'm okay, Daddy. Just turn the shower on. But at that time, I didn't know my dad could see my skin coming off. I'm just thinking he's just overreacting because, he was afraid that I got burnt. But y'all, my skin was coming off, so I'm in the shower. The shower is on me. I'm in my bra and my underwear because I'm burnt everywhere, on my chest, my stomach, my thighs, my legs. My arm is something that y'all can see now. My arm got burnt as well. So I'm in the shower, y'all. And so my mom was like, Bo, you have to get her to the hospital. So I'm like, okay, y'all. I look down, I see the skin coming off, and I knew then, being a nurse and being in the field that I'm in, I knew then, I said, you know what, yeah, I'm going to have to go to the hospital. But at this time, y'all, I didn't think that it was serious. I didn't think, that I would have to have surgery. I just feel, okay, I just need to go to the hospital and get checked out. So y'all, my dad, y'all, if anybody knows me, I'm crazy about Bo James. Don't say anything about Bo James. Like, my daddy is my world. Everybody knows that. And for me to see him hurt like that, y'all, it just tore me up. So we get to the hospital. We went to Early Memorial because we was in Blakely. And as everybody knows, my parents live right down the road from the hospital. We get there, and they act like they didn't want to take me in the back. They were like, my daddy kept telling them, she's been burnt. And finally they came, they took me in the back. And y'all, those nurses back there, they were good to me, y'all. Me being a nurse and working, in hospitals, I didn't know how I would take it because I have never been sick, y'all. I've never had a baby, so I've never really been in the hospital. I've never just, had any medical problems. So being in the hospital was new to me. So we get back there, y'all, and they just start drenching me with gauze and sterile water. They just was pouring it on me, just pouring it. And by this time, I'm telling myself, Erica, don't panic, don't go into shock. Because if y'all know, when you get burnt, if your body goes into shock, it takes a long time to heal, and it's really bad. So I was telling myself, don't go into shock, Erica, just stay calm, stay calm. So I'm back there in the room by myself because my dad is too nervous to even come back there with me. The only people at the hospital is me and my dad. My mom was on her way home from work, so I'm back there by myself, and I was just, like, Lord, just, help me, Lord, help me, Lord. The ladies just kept pouring water on me. I was afraid to look down at my skin, y'all, because I knew it was coming off. So I got an IV started, got a catheter put in, got me some pain medicine. By that time, my mom got there, my grandma got there. You know, a lot of my friends got there, my auntie, a lot of people got there, and I can remember I kept telling my family, I was like, can somebody call T? T is my aunt, y'all. She's my uncle's wife. Well, yeah, her husband is a pastor. She's actually my dad's sister. But I know she always pray. I always say, you know, if you need to get Jesus on the main line, call T. She can get him on the main line. So I kept saying, y'all, please call T, call T. So, you know, by that time, y'all, they called the burn center in Augusta. They were like, you know, I want her here tonight. That's what the surgeon in Augusta said. Y'all, during this time, I was in between jobs. I had just signed a contract with a nurse practitioner job where I am now, but I wasn't working. I didn't have any medical insurance because I was in between jobs, y'all. So I needed to be, you know, airlifted out, but they say they did not have any you know, helicopters to fly me, which I don't know if that's, you know, it's because I didn't have any insurance at the time or what it was. But long story short, y'all, I ended up having to be transferred to Augusta, the burn center. And y'all, when we left early memorial, of course, all my family prayed for us and, you know, prayed for me. And the doctor came in the room and, you know, I'm sick, but I'm in my mind frame as a nurse. So I know what, you know, medical terms mean. I know what he's saying. He told me, he was like, the surgeon in Augusta, he wants you to go straight to the debridement room when you get there. Y'all, I just started crying. Like, tears were just coming out my eyes. I was just, because I knew what the debridement room meant. In my mind, I was thinking, oh, I'm going to be fine. They're just going to wrap my arms and my legs up. But when he said the debridement room, and that's when they go in and scrape your skin, y'all, that tore me up. So we get on the ambulance. Y'all, they took me to the wrong hospital. They took me to the burn center in Atlanta, which I was supposed to go to the one in Augusta. So my parents are behind the ambulance, and my mom, her heart stopped because she's like, why are we stopping in Atlanta? You know, when the ambulance stopped, that means something bad has happened. I'm looking at the monitor, y'all. My blood pressure is dropping, so I'm thinking in my head, oh my God, my blood pressure is dropping. I need to do something for myself, but all I could do was just lay there on that stretcher, y'all. That was the longest ride of my life. So we finally get to Augusta. They get me in the back. They get me situated. They start me a new IV. They start me on some fluids. They give me some more pain medicine. By this time, y'all, I'm high off of pain medicine. I don't do pain medicine well, y'all. So I'm just like, okay, I'm feeling lovely. So this is all the night before Thanksgiving, y'all. By the time I got there, the surgeon, he had went home. So it was either, you know, he told me, you're young, I want your surgery done tonight so you can heal well. But being that the mix-up, you know, I went to Atlanta instead of Augusta, the next day he came around, y'all. That night, the nurses were helping me put on my gown. I couldn't put my socks on, y'all. I couldn't do nothing. All I could do was just lay there. And, you know, my mom, she stayed in the room with me. She had to sleep in a hard back chair because she was like, you know, I'm not leaving you in the hospital by yourself. And y'all, it was a wake up call because I help people every day. This is my job. I'm the one that's supposed to be, you know, helping this patient bathe. I'm the one that's supposed to be giving medicine. But look, I'm the person that's in the hospital. So for me, it was a big adjustment. I had a hard time with, you know, letting the nurses help me. I was like, I can do it. And they're like, no, we got it. That's what we're here for. So the next morning, y'all, when I say God has favor over my life, y'all, favor is not fair. Anything that I go through, God has favor over me. The next day, the surgeon came and he was like, it's Thanksgiving Day. He said, I can't justify calling the staff in for your surgery. He said, that means I'm going to have to call a lot of people in and I'm going to have to open the OR just for you. He said, I can't justify that. And my mom was like, can you please go ahead and give her surgery? You know, she's young. And he was like, I'll be back. Y'all, he went and made rounds on his other patients. He came back and he said, we're going to go ahead and take you to surgery. When I tell you God is good, y'all, he's awesome. He's good, y'all. So, y'all, he opened the OR up just for me on Thanksgiving Day. My mom was there. My dad was there. My boyfriend was there at the time. And y'all, After surgery, my mom and my dad was able to come in the OR room with me. If that's not favor, y'all, I don't know what favor is. Y'all, my mom and dad was outside of the operating room. When they rolled me out of the operating room, my mom and dad was back there in the back. Now, y'all, that's favor. You know, when you're in a hospital, you can't bring your family in the back. You know they have to wait in the waiting room and wait. Y'all, that's favor. When I tell you that's favor, God is awesome. And in that moment, it let me know, even though you're going through this, God is still awesome. God is still having favor over your life. Y'all, I went on back to the room. I woke up, we ate Waffle House last year for Thanksgiving. Because, I was in the hospital. I stayed, I think I stayed the next day, and I ended up coming home, going to my parents' house. Like I say, I can't really do anything for myself. They came around, y'all. They discharged me. Those people in Augusta, y'all, those people were good to me. So I get home, my family and my friends, my best friend there, my sister, they drive down, my cousin, y'all, my cousin Brianna, she's a nurse. The one thing I can say, y'all, she was there. My best friend Erica was there. Like, everybody was there. I don't want to call names because I don't want to leave people out. My auntie, my uncle, just everybody was there for me, y'all. So I get to my parents' house. My sister comes in. I'm up, y'all. I'm wrapped from head. Like, I'm wrapped in my arms, my legs, my thighs. I'm just wrapped everywhere, y'all. So, my sister's helping me. I'm still trying to adjust because, I'm used to just getting up, going by myself and doing things, y'all. But at this moment, I'm not able to do that. So, long story short, y'all, I think I came home that Friday or that Monday. I ended up having to go to Tallahassee. Tallahassee had a burn center. It's affiliated with Augusta, but being it was closer, I was able to go to that burn center. So my next appointment, y'all, we get in the car, we go. They take my dressings off, y'all. If y'all could have seen me walk, it was a mess. I had stuff everywhere, y'all. So we go to the appointment. They take my dressings off. At this time, y'all, I have cadaver skin on me. When I did the first surgery, they did cadaver skin on me. And if you don't know what cadaver skin is dead people's skin. Y'all, I didn't think about it when it was on me. Now I go back, I was like, man, I really had somebody dead skin on me. They gave me some white people's cadaver skin. They told me, they were like, we can't find any of your color, so we're gonna, any black person's cadaver skin your color, so we have to give you white people cadaver skin, which was fine with me. I just needed some skin to heal. It was fine with me. So I went back to my second appointment to get it removed. They told me, they said, you're not healing, like you should. We're going to have to do an additional surgery. So, this time I'm like, oh man, I thought I was going to get the cadaver skin off, but I didn't. So we go back home, go back into normal life, y'all. The only thing I could do was sit there and just play on my phone, watch TV. I did have an appetite at the time. I had to make myself eat. But I can say my family, my mom and my dad at A1, y'all, A1. My mom and my dad, they didn't miss a beat, y'all. My cousin Brianna, y'all, she came and helped me bathe. I can remember one day she was like, cousin, I'll help you wash your feet. I was like, no, cousin, you can't wash my feet. She was like, Erica, I do this for a living. And y'all, the fact that she was willing to do that for me, like, it showed me how much love she had for me. I knew my mom and my dad loved me. I knew that if anything like that happened to me, that they would be there for me. But during this time, it just made me grateful for a lot of people. My best friend would come and sit with me when she was off of work. My other cousin would come and sit with me. My godson's mother would come and sit with me. It just made me realize how loved I was at that time. And y'all, I can't say, I'm going to pause and say this before I finish the story. During that time, y'all, I think I only cried twice. It's when I was at the hospital and they told me I had to go in the debridement room. And that night that I came back and they told me I had to have surgery. Like, tears just came down my eyes. And I didn't get angry with God. I didn't say, God, why did I get burned? I didn't get angry and say, why am I going through this? I never questioned God during that whole time, y'all. I never questioned him. So I went back for my surgery. We ended up coming to Augusta. for my surgery, y'all. God is awesome. Y'all, this is what we're about to shout. During the times that I was at home, y'all, I couldn't do a lot for myself, y'all. It was bad. So we get to surgery. I go in pre-op, y'all. I'm like, okay, I'm getting this cadaver skin off. I'm getting ready to get my skin grafts. They're gonna take skin from my thighs and put it, on my arms, my legs, y'all. I got a lot of skin, so I knew that they weren't gonna have a problem getting skin, y'all. So we get to surgery, y'all. I'm in pre-op. I'm talking to the lady in pre-op. She's very nice. Y'all, God is awesome. When I tell you he's so awesome to me, he's awesome to me. Glory, God. Glory to your name, God. Y'all, I was in surgery. The surgeon woke me up in surgery. And he said, I don't understand. He said, I don't understand. You're healing. You don't need the other surgery. You do not need this surgery. He said, you're lucky. You're lucky. And I told him, I said, no, sir. I'm not lucky. I'm blessed. I have the favor of God on my life. Y'all, God healed. He healed my burns. I'm telling you. Because if I would have had to go through a graft, y'all, I would have been out for longer. I would have, not been able to start the job that I was on, y'all. God healed my body. He was, my surgeon doctor, his son, he was awesome. He kept saying, I don't understand. And y'all, that's how God is. He does things that we don't understand. And even in that time, that was I was going through a test, but God spoke to me. He said, if you don't have a test, how can you have a testimony? And y'all, that experience was very, very emotional for me. And, it brought me closer to God. I was close to God, but I was just, it made me realize how much favor he had on my life. When you're going through hard times in life, God still has his hand on you. He still has favor on you. He still worked things out in the midst of what you're going through. I could have easily got upset. I could have easily been mad with God. I could have been questioning God like, Lord, I'm a good person. Why did this have to happen to me? Lord, I try to treat people right. Why did this happen to me? I would have never guessed boiling water for trying to bathe my dog. I get burnt. Something that I have to live with for the rest of my life. Like, it's just, I could have been upset, y'all, but I didn't. I took that opportunity to thank God. Y'all, that same day, God woke me up and the surgeon woke me up and told me I didn't have to have surgery. My mom and my dad was in the waiting room, and it was this preacher in there. He was praying for everybody, and it was these parents, y'all, their kids had a car accident, and one of them had a bonfire, and they got burnt in their face, and they were gonna have to have stem cell transplant to try to rebuild their face. They had burns worse than mine, y'all. And their parents was telling my parents, that they were praying and their kids were on the ventilator. And I said, you know what? God is awesome, because God, that could have been me. That could have been me. So how can I question God and say, God, I got these little bit of burns, but you got somebody down the hallway from me that's on life support. They're the same age I am. They were just trying to have a bonfire. They had a car accident. We all get in a car every day. We all can have a car accident, y'all. So it can be you at any moment in time. So you have to thank God for life, health, and strength on a daily basis, y'all. So when we left the hospital, they wrapped me up. They took the cadaver skin off. They wrapped me up. They told me to, go home and, follow up with my weekly appointments, y'all. So I get home, y'all, that whole night, I promise you, I laid in my bed and I thank God. When I tell you I thank God, I think I cried and prayed and thank God all night. I just thank God. I was listening to the other people's, what their kids were going through. And I said, you know what, God, that's just favor. God, I thank you for the favor. Lord, I thank you for the people that are here for me, y'all. People showed up for me when I was burnt that I didn't think would show up for me. My family, my cousins, my boyfriend at the time, my mama, my daddy, my co-workers, y'all. It was the churches in Blakely was sending me stuff, y'all. They were just with me during that time, y'all. And I just thank God for that. I did get upset. One time I got upset, y'all, and I laughed about it. It was after, I went back home. I was at my parents' house, and I think My dad was at work, which he works in Blakely, so he was able to come home and check on me. And I think my cousin Bree, she was on her way over there, y'all. When I say Bree, she would come and help me and everything. She was on her way over there, and I was in the bathroom, and I was trying to put on some underwear, y'all. It took me 30 minutes to put on a pair of underwear, and I got very frustrated. And I had to sit back and I said, you know what, God, I'm not going to get angry, because it could have easily been me on life support. It could have been easily me. Y'all, that pot could have burnt my face. When I fell and that water fell back on me, it got most of my chest here. Y'all, it could have got my face. That was the favor of God saving me from that. God saved me from that. I could easily get upset from burns being on my arms and my legs, but God could have put it on my face, y'all. He didn't do that. That's when I say God is awesome and intentional. He's very intentional and very awesome, y'all. This, I show y'all my arm. This is, I can't show you my other burns because I have them covered with my shirt and my pants, but this is my burn. And for a while, y'all, I would wear long sleeves. I wouldn't, I wouldn't let people see it. But now I embrace it because it's a scar, but this scar let me know what God has brought me through. This scar reminds me the goodness of God. So if I ever have a bad day, or if I ever go through things, all I got to do is look down at my arm and see how good God has been, see where God has brought me from. Because if it had not been him on my side, y'all, I'm telling you, things would have went totally different, y'all. Let me tell you how good God was during this time. Like I told y'all, I signed a contract to work for a nurse practitioner job where I work now. I was supposed to start the job in December, y'all. I could not because I was burnt. Don't you know those people held the job for me, God? Y'all, if that's not God, I don't know what is. They told me, you call me and let me know when you're ready to come to work. You let me know when you want to sign this contract. Y'all, that's God. Not only that, y'all, through this situation, God had so much favor on me. I told you I had no medical, I'm sorry, y'all. I had no medical insurance at the time. Y'all, I remember in the hospital, she said, well, if you send your stuff in, we write stuff off. Y'all, do you know that those people sent me a letter in the mail and told me that the bill that I acquired when I was in the hospital, that they were going to write it off? Now, if that's not God, I don't know what is, y'all. That's God. That is God. I went through that, and I'm sitting here saying, oh, Lord, that's going to be a very high hospital bill. Y'all, God got it. It was wrote off. I couldn't do nothing but pray and thank God, y'all. He had so much favor on me in that season, in that situation. I could have easily been bitter. I could have easily given up. Y'all, but God showed favor on me. So, y'all, this is something for y'all. When you're going through hard times, God can still have favor on your life. God can still be there for you. God revealed to me. He said, Erica, I didn't take you through this for you. It's nothing you did in life for me to let you get burnt. Y'all, God, everything that happens, God allows it. God allowed me to get burnt. And he revealed to me, I took you through that so you could minister to other people. It was not about you. It was nothing that you have done. It was nothing, of karma. I took you through that because I know that you can minister to people. But had I not taken you through that, how can you minister to people if you've never been through anything? A lot of people always say, why is the devil and why does things seem to happen to the most anointed people? Because God has to take us through things so we can help minister to people. And when I started working here, y'all, I seen a lot of people that get burnt. I talked to this one girl. She was like, embrace your burns. We were just talking about burns. I talked to this other person. They were down on themselves about their burns. I said, no. Embrace your burns. You're right. It was necessary. It was necessary that I went through that, y'all. Very, very much so necessary. And let me tell you how sometimes when you feel like, God has told you to do this, or you feel like things are going good, let me tell y'all something. I graduated nurse practitioner school last May. I was working as a travel nurse, and I was working at Phoebe, y'all. All my classmates were getting jobs. Everybody was getting nurse practitioner jobs. I didn't have one. I'm like, Lord, I went to school to get a degree. I know this is the degree you want me to have because you allowed me to get in this program. Y'all, I prayed, fasted. I couldn't find a job. One day, I think I was applying for 50 jobs a day, y'all, no lie. About 50 jobs a day. One day I went to church. The preacher said, how can you, I think, and you know what, I think the preacher name is Julius Foster. He was at I think he was at St. Maryland that Sunday. He said, how can you, expect God to bless you if you're not prepared? Be prepared for your blessing. Y'all, that next day, that Monday, I went home and started packing my house up. I started packing the dining room up because I knew I wanted to move from Blakely. I started packing. I didn't have a job. I didn't know where I was going, y'all. I started packing. That Thursday, I got a call for an interview. They said, can you meet us in Atlanta? I don't live in Atlanta, y'all. My job is not in Atlanta. But they said, can you meet us in Atlanta for an interview? Y'all, I went that Thursday for the interview. They called me back maybe 2-3 weeks later and said, you got the job. Right when I accepted the job, y'all, a couple weeks later, that's when I got burned. So don't feel like just because you're called and you're chosen, you're not going to go through things. Because right when I got what God was asking me for, he took me through that burn situation. I could have been like, well, Lord, you just gave me this job. Why would you take me through the burn situation? But no, I looked at it as, God, you allowed me to get this job. So I know you're going to heal my body so I can go work this job. So when things happen in your life and, God say you're anointed, appointed, or he wants you to do this, always look for adversity to come. Always look for it to come. But take comfort in knowing that God is going to give you the strength to get through it, y'all. And a lot of people look at me and say, oh, Erica James, you had an awesome life. Y'all, my parents gave me an awesome life. They did. But it's certain things that you go through in life that your parents can't help you through. It's certain things that you go through in life that your parents don't prepare you for. The only way you can be prepared for them is to go through them yourself. So, I get up here and I do my lives and I'm like, you know what? I need to tell my testimony because y'all, I don't know how many people see this video. I don't do it for people, likes, views. I do it to touch people's lives. So if it only touch one person, my job is done because God has told me your purpose is to minister to people, y'all. Minister to women who's gone through the same things you've been through. People, men, women, anybody, that's what God wants me to do. And so when God tells us to do something, you must do it. I'm learning to obey God. So if God is telling y'all to do something, y'all need to do it. You need to move because God, He's not going to force you to do anything. He gives us our own free will. And sometimes when we walk outside of the will of God, we go through unnecessary things. We go through unnecessary pain. So it's best to listen when God speaks. And God has been weighing on my heart heavy. You need to do your testimony. You need to tell people your testimony on Facebook. You need to do it. I was going to do it last week, y'all, but I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And it kept pressing on me. Then people kept asking me how I got burned. Everybody thought I got burnt by cooking. I'm like, no. So I said, you know what? God, you've been telling me to do this. So I'm going to do it. So I hope that this, my testimony helps somebody. Even if you weren't burned, maybe you're sick and you're down and out. But I tell you, trust God. Because y'all, do you see how much favor he showed me over my burns? They wrote my bill off. Those people were so good to me. Yeah, they treat you different when you don't have insurance. I know that. I used to work at a hospital. They were so good to me. They showed so much favor. They allowed my family and my friends to come in the operating room. I mean, y'all, it don't get no better than that. God is awesome. So if you're in this season in your life and you feel like things aren't going your way, take comfort in knowing that God still has favor over your life. And like my grandma used to tell me, favor is not fair. Favor ain't fair. Favor will get you in places that a degree can't. Favor will get you in places that you're not even qualified to be. You'll be in places with people who have higher degrees than you, and you'll be looking like, Lord, how did I get here? Favor is not fair. Like I tell people at my job, we were applying for, I was applying for something. One of my coworkers was like, oh, that's hard to get. I said, favor is not fair. God has his favor over me, and I believe I'm one of God's favorites. I was telling my neighbor the other day, I said, when I get to heaven, I feel like I'm going to sit beside Jesus. She started laughing. She was like, he's going to be everywhere. I was like, I feel like I'm just gonna be sitting beside him. I think I'm one of his favorite. And that's the attitude that we must have, y'all. Know that God has his favor on you. And I'm trying to move on for this subject, y'all, but God just keeps speaking to me. And like I say, we must obey God. Let's see, y'all. All right, y'all. I think that's about it. I didn't make any notes tonight because I was like, my testimony, I don't, need any notes. Like I said, I hope this my testimony has helped somebody along the way. And I do thank everybody that was with me through my burns, my auntie, my uncle, my mama, my dad, and my cousins, my best friends, my friends, everybody that was with me. I don't want to call names because I don't want to, overlook someone, but I thank y'all for my prayers. And, I'm thankful that God allowed me to go through that so I can grow. And it made my faith stronger in God. It made me who I am today. The things that we go through, God lets us go through those things so we can become who he has called us to be. And God has taken me through some things in this season of my life, y'all. It hurts like hell to some of the stuff that I'm going through. But God keeps revealing to me, it's not about you, my child. It's not about you, my child. This is for you to minister to someone else. So I like to leave with a lot of encouraging words to help someone along the way. Y'all, God's put this on my heart. If it's a dream, if it's something that you want to do, if it's to start a business, go back to school, whatever it may be, do it. Do not dismiss small beginnings. So many times we want our business to jump off. So many times we want a lot of support here and there. Y'all, sometimes we have to start off small. And God can turn that into something big. If you want to go back to school and you're wondering how I'm going to go back to school, I'm working, take one class at a time until you can figure it out. Start, selling stuff from your house until you can buy a business. Start, doing something on YouTube. Start doing something on Facebook. Start somewhere. Don't overlook small starts. Never overlook small starts. And when you start your business or when you go back to school, you need to put your all in it, y'all. The Bible tells us our gift will make room for us. So whatever your purpose is in life and whatever you want to do, God is going to make room for it. Just make sure you have a vision, because the Bible says a man without a vision shall perish. So I pray that, y'all have a good night. I hope these words of encouragement help y'all. I pray my testimony help y'all. I'm getting emotional, y'all. My eyes have watered, my nose running. But God laid that on my heart to share with y'all tonight. And like I say, I'm learning to be obedient and move when God tells me to move. So I pray y'all have a blessed and awesome night. I don't see any comments down here. Any questions or anything. So y'all have hey Kamoy, y'all have a blessed night. And my Girl Talk group, I'm gonna share this video to my Girl Talk page, and I'll see y'all back next week for our live. If y'all have any questions, feel free to inbox me, DM me, or post them on the page, and we will pick up with our Girl Talk session next Thursday. Y'all have a good night. Love y'all.